Most of us know that when we connect cells or batteries in series, their voltages simply add up. And generally speaking, it's best to connect identical cells or batteries in series, but I became curious a while back as to what would happen if I connected dissimilar cells and batteries in series. So here are the results of an experiment that I actually did with these kinds of devices, and you'll find this in my book, Electricity Experiments You Can Do at Home. It's actually the second experiment in this book, which has dozens of experiments in it of various exotic natures, something like this. This is the simple case where we have cells and batteries in series. I just took some simple AA sized cells, made sure that all these cells and batteries were new. Lantern battery. Now normally cells like this produce 1.5 volts, and that's what I measured these cells as producing. And lantern batteries like this in the middle here produce about 6.0 volts, and I found that that was pretty close to what I got when I measured the voltage of that lantern battery. So I connected these things up in series. Now when you do that, normally you connect minus to plus, minus to plus, so the voltages all add up. And so what we would expect in a case like that is that we would get a net voltage of 6.0 plus 1.5 plus 1.5. Notice 6.0 plus 1.5 plus 1.5. And, of course, those three numbers add up to approximately 9 volts. And that is indeed what I measured with the voltmeter when I conducted this experiment. However, I became curious. What would happen if I reversed the sequence of the polarities so that instead of all three of them agreeing, one of them conflicted with the others? So that now, although we have minus to plus, the correct configuration here, we have minus to minus here. My theory was that this 1.5 volts right here would buck the other voltages rather than adding, so that what we would in effect get would be 6.0 plus 1.5 minus 1.5. This one here that's the rogue cell, the black sheep as it were, would conflict, and we would end up with simply 6.0 volts. That's what I imagined would happen, and when I conducted this experiment, that is in fact exactly what did happen. However, now I became curious. What would happen if I switched the other cell around as well, so that now we have in effect a 6-volt battery and two 1.5 volt sources bucking it? What would happen in that case? What I found, what I theorized was 6.0 minus 1.5 minus 1.5. We have two rogue cells giving us then in effect only 3.0 volts. And when I conducted this experiment, measured the voltage with this meter right here, indeed, that is precisely what happened. So, when you connect batteries in series or DC sources like this, I don't know about other DC sources. I guess I didn't test those, to be honest. Power supplies, I didn't actually test those. I simply used alkaline AA cells and an alkaline lantern battery, all of which I bought at a local department store, and I did these tests, and once again, the results that I got were 6.0 plus 1.5 plus 1.5, or 9.0 volts when I added them all in the correct and normal way. 6.0 plus 1.5 minus 1.5, so the two AA cells bucking each other canceled each other out, and I got 6.0 volts, just the lantern battery voltage. When I connected two batteries, or two cells rather, bucking the lantern battery, I got 3.0. By golly, I forgot to say that was volts, but you knew that, right? Getting back to the diagram again, I also found that this same rule would apply even if both of these cells were on one side of the battery. Notice in this diagram they're on opposite sides of the battery. But I found that it didn't matter which sequence you connected them in, which order. This same rule would apply. When you connect them properly, as shown in this first equation right there, they all add up. When you have one of them bucking, that bucking one bucks the sum of the other two. And when you have two of them bucking, they both conspire together to buck the other one. So that's exactly what we get. And so that is how batteries work when you connect them in series. I would hasten to add that an arrangement of this sort is something that you would generally not do. Why on earth would you want to do this to get 3 volts when you could simply connect two 1.5 volt AA cells in series with each other properly to get 3.0 volts? But, you know, I mean, whatever floats your boat, as we would say here in America. If you'd like to do that, I don't know. Also, I should also hasten to add, I don't know what this is going to do in regards to the lives of the cells and the battery in an arrangement like this. I would advise against doing this as a matter of course. As an experiment, yes. As a matter of course, no. Once again, the title of the book in question, I'll write it down for you. Electricity Experiments well, go to my website and you'll find it linked from there. My website is sciencewriter.net. So long.